3, and I am seeing the annotated bibliography and presentation.
Uh-huh.
I don't see anything about, so we've got reading in PowerPoint, cognitive project 1, study group, annotated bibliography presentation study group, individual exam, and weekly report. So where is that at?
This is for 350, isn't it? Am I in the wrong class?
Yeah, this is 376.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, Rebecca,
That explains so much. I'm taking 5 classes and all of them are like, you need to do stuff with your group.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I was really confused. I'm like, I have not ever heard of that. Where is that assignment? I'm missing something.
Well, I feel extra dumb now.
No, I'm just glad because I was really, really confused. Like, what is this? So for the study group and the annotated bibliography, that we have like a presentation, right? That we've got to pick from one of these, what was it? 5, 6, 7 topics. I need to pull that up.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Okay. Memory, self-regulation, attention, language, perception/sensation, problem solving, or thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was thinking about self-regulation or self-control. I mean, there's like physical self-control, there's emotional self-control, there's like different aspects of that as just a thought, or we could go with anything else if there's something else. Attention, language, perception. Yeah, we could, anything that we can fall under those, we could take it in any direction, right? As long as we're under one of those broad topics.
I like that. I like the idea of self-regulation, especially if we can find research articles that talk about like how self-regulation helps in other parts of our lives as well. Because I feel like that's something that's not really well published, hopefully.
Right.
I mean, we're looking to find something that we can research later.
Yeah. Yeah, I had found a few articles that were written just in the last couple of years, peer-reviewed articles that were about like emotional development of emotional self-control and the benefits of that, like just group-wise and everything else. You know, we talk about emotional intelligence and emotional self-control, self-regulation, and just in our society of, there's lots of self-regulation. We could talk about anything from physical discipline to emotional discipline to, anyway, so that was a topic of interest to me, but I am totally flexible too. If there's something that stands out more to you, I can go in any direction.
I like that topic, so I'm good with that. I vote yes.
Okay. We'll go with that. That sounds good.
Okay.
I am still really wishing, I don't know where people are at. So we take this group test. Do we all just open our computer and like go through the test? Like, is it just a regular test and we like confer over the answers?
I guess so.
But we all take it individually, I'm assuming?
Right.
Like on our own computers, but while we're like discussing it?
Right.
Is that what you gather?
That's what I understand from it.
So those are our 2 objectives, right? To go over our topic and article and then our test. Is that what we've got to accomplish today?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I wish, I'm going to pull up my emails real quick and see if we've heard back from anyone.
I haven't seen anything. I was just looking at the group, the group thing. Should I just post to that again and be like, hey, here's the link, just in case.
Yes. See if you can put the link on there in that group thing. That would be great. And I'm going to check the email again to see if I've heard back from Rebecca Guerrero, I think is the other one.
Okay.
So where in Texas are you?
I'm in Azle. Do you know where that is?
I've heard of it, but give me a direction, like in relation to Dallas or Fort Worth.
It's just a little bit north of Fort Worth. It's kind of over towards Weatherford.
Oh, okay. My brother-in-law lives in Weatherford.
Oh, really?
Oh, that area. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing any responses back on that.
No, I mean, Talia posted.
And she said she was good to meet at 9 this morning, like 10 Mountain. No, that would be 8 Mountain time
Mm-hmm.
and 9 our time. But she sounded like she was flexible. And so that's why I posted a couple responses to her and then put another one out there.
Yeah.
So hopefully in that last one, I just requested, I'm like, can everybody please just send your email and cell phone number so that we can have a group chat, a group text of some sort that we can all see.
Because, I mean, I'm sure the teacher's going to be fairly lenient with us this week since it's like our first one, but
we will need to get on there. And when you, so are you recording this?
Yes.
Okay, so we could post this and like our team could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can all see it when we're done. Okay, so why don't we do you want to just start and do the exam?
Yeah.
See if people jump on, and then at least they can go back and look at it so they can kind of see. See it after that if they want to take that, because I know you've got stuff to do, and so do I.
I bet. Okay.
Okay, you'll meet with your group to complete the exam. You'll be given 30 minutes to complete the exam. Work together to answer each question carefully. So 30 minutes, I'm guessing it's another 30 question. I'm assuming it's going to be exactly, or at least probably similar to our individual exam. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I just opened it. So it's an estimated length of 30 minutes. I probably should have opened it without you. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay.
So it's not actually timing me. So I guess it's supposed to take about 30 minutes. That's like their estimate.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
But time allowed is unlimited. Oh, nice. I was like, how are we gonna? That's why I was like, you opened it. It's the clock is ticking. Okay. It's not ticking.
Sorry.
No, that's good. It's not ticking. That's good.
Okay, so question 1, Donder's main reason for doing his choice reaction time experiment was to study decision making.
Right. Let's see. Yeah.
Because his experiment was the person just tapping the J key and then tapping the J key whenever they were told to, and he measured the difference in time, and it was 1/10 of a second.
Exactly. Yep.
Hey.
Agreed.
Okay, the first experiments in cognitive psychology were based on the idea that mental responses can be, I think it would be measured by comparing responses among different participants, because Donders was basically the first one who did an experiment, though Wundt was the first one to have a lab, right?
Yes, and the one thing that I did write down from Donders, what I wrote from the book was one of the first cognitive psychological experiences which measured how mental processes are inferred, which is that last response, inferred, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that last one, inferred from. So I would guess that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because it specifically said inferred mental process in the book.
Mm-hmm. Okay, question 3. The founder of the first laboratory of scientific psychology was Wilhelm Wundt.
Yeah.
They've beaten that one into us, huh?
Good job. Yeah, good job on the pronunciation, too.
Oh, thanks. Took German.
I would have said it's totally American.
Okay, the cognitive revolution was a gradual process that occurred over a few decades, because they talked about it starting with that one meeting, not with Wundt, but with the meeting of behaviorists to discuss how things were going to go, and then slowly becoming something else.
Yes. Yep. And that's what I put from the book too, in quotation marks, occurred over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Behaviorists believe that the presentation of blank increases the frequency of behavior. Positive reinforcers.
Yes. Yep.
Your textbook describes the occurrence of a cognitive revolution during which dramatic changes took place in the way psychology was studied. This so-called revolution occurred parallel to, and in part because of, the introduction of, I thought it was computers. I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It was digital computers because I have that written down too. It just showed the whole processes. It made us look at the process of, a digital computer suggested a new way of thinking, an information processing approach that traces the sequences of mental operations and cognition.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say computers too.
Perfect. Ebbinghaus's memory experiments were important because they
Positive reinforcement other functions of this.
because his was where he tried to memorize like 3 little things, random words that were not actually words.
Yes, where is my, oh, here we go. Yeah, memory experience that, where you talk about social positive reinforcement plotted functions. So it wasn't positive reinforcers, plotted functions. So what did you say? Plotted functions that describe the operations of the mind?
I think so, because it talks about how he basically like
the math equations, right? Where it was like he
created
determined
the savings curve.
Yeah.
Okay. Which of the following is a criticism of analytic introspection? I would say it infers mental processes. No, that's not right. It produces variable results from person to person. Because that was Wundt's thing.
Yes.
He was into like having people trained on how to follow their mental processes.
Right, but even still, even with that training, you would still come up with different
results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the data wasn't objective. The same data was presented to the people.
Yeah.
It was their results that varied. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Donald Broadbent was the first person to develop which of the following? He was the flow diagram guy.
Mm-hmm.
So a diagram depicting the mind as processing information in a sequence of stages.
Yep. I'm on that one.
Okay. Reaction time refers to the time between the blank of a stimulus and a person's response to it. I think it was the presentation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Attention, perception, memory, and decision-making are all different types of mental processes in which the mind engages. These are known as different types of cognition.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I like overtaking the conversation? I do that sometimes.
No, I'm totally agreeing with you. No, if I disagree or if we don't confer, no, I'm saying it at almost the same time, so you're good.
Okay.
Right.
Donder's measurement of reaction time is particularly important because it demonstrated the time course on which the mind operates. Donders found that it took blank to decide which of the 2 buttons to push in response to a stimulus. Less than 1 second.
Less than a second, yeah.
Because it was 1/10 of a second, which I thought was pretty cool that he could measure all the way back then.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I don't know how they did it because
I know, which you'd still think that's variable because someone could have more fast twitch fibers than someone else. So even if they're responding to a stimulus, wouldn't you think that someone's like ability to physically respond anyway. I'm sure it's very close. If we're talking 1/10 of a second, it's going to be close anyway, but
Yeah.
that could even still potentially be variable.
I wonder if he did a bunch of them and then just kind of averaged them, and the average was 1/10 of a second.
I'm sure you're right.
That would be cool. Okay, the relationship between the blank is not measured directly by cognitive psychologists. Cognitive, physiological, cognitive task, and the behavioral outcome. Cognitive task and the mental response.
So I would think that cognitive psychologists would not measure physiological well,
because they have to, because they can't measure when your mind figures it out.
Right. You're right.
Because that's what they were talking about with Donders, wasn't it?
Is not measured directly by. So yeah, mental response is not measured directly by. Cognitive task and the mental response by.
Be real cool if we could like measure that though.
Right? See the words come up in your mind instead of just lighting up areas of the brain.
Exactly. So cool. Okay, which of the following stimuli were used in Ebbinghaus's memory experiment discussed in your text? 3-letter nonsense words.
Yeah.
Sorry. Was that too fast? I'll go slow.
No, that was too. No, you're great. I'm just over here reading my notes. As soon as it goes to Ebbinghaus, I'm like just looking for him on my paper, but no, you got it.
Okay. The procedure in which trained participants describe their experiences and thought processes in response to stimuli presented under controlled conditions is known as.
So isn't that is that the analytic introspection again? Trained participants?
Yeah, because that was how Wundt did it.
Yeah.
Okay. John Watson believed that psychology should focus on the study of observable behavior, wasn't it? Because he was the behaviorist.
Yeah. Watson was behaviorist, yeah.
Right. Oh, the little Albert experiment. The little Albert experiment involving the rat and the loud noise is an example of which of the following types of experiments? Classical conditioning, I think. What just happened?